Yes, I'm a red-blooded American watching the news in France. I don't care if you're extremist or not. I'm taking the war to you, and you're not the only mosque getting this call. Everyone's getting this call tonight.
You can say whatever you want, but every Muslim is a terrorist.
Effective immediately, I'm declaring Florida gun supply as a Muslim-free zone. I will not arm and train those who wish to do harm to my fellow patriots.
Welcome to Florida Gun Supply, everybody.
Andy Hallahan is the owner of Florida Gun Supply,
Now, does everybody know what this is?
where he teaches a 3-hour concealed carry class.
So this is actually the largest class in Florida Gun Supply's history.
Typically, how many people are in a class?
25. Today we have 60 registered. And how are you today?
Andy says business is booming for 2 reasons.
I think that it's mostly because of Mr. Obama taking more gun control measures, as well as the terrorist attacks in France and California have certainly helped.
Gun stores everywhere are profiting from this spike in demand. But Florida Gun Supply is doing more than just cashing in on sales.
I'm Andy with Florida Gun Supply, and we're now a Muslim-free zone.
Andy's viral video made headlines this summer and tapped into a national conversation we're still having today.
We are the Muslim-free zone, people know that, and in order for us to be vindicated, lives have to be lost, and that's the unfortunate reality. But once that happens, people say, oh, I guess this guy was onto something. So that's what you're seeing today.
When you talk about these people that are actually afraid of us, it's kind of ironic because we're the ones afraid.
You want me to bring the AK? It's fun to shoot the AK.
Whatever you want.
Not far away from Andy's store are Muslim Americans like the Schwab family.
I'm a gun owner. Being an American, I practice my right to have a gun, but I don't carry it. Even though I have a carry permit, I don't carry it. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want anybody to hurt me.
Muhammad was born in Syria and is now a successful dentist just outside Tampa. His wife Wendy was born in the States and converted to Islam. Between the two of them, they have 8 kids. On an early Sunday morning, we met up with them at their home.
So what would you guys normally be doing on a Sunday if we weren't here?
1 o'clock, Patriots game begins.
But watching a football game isn't the only activity planned for this afternoon.
I'm gonna bring this KSG shotgun.
The Schwabs are proud gun owners and have been for years.
So is this just, it's just a hobby?
Absolutely.
But in a country where a presidential frontrunner is proposing banning, IDing, and tracking Muslim Americans, their longtime hobby is now under the microscope.
So right now, I look like a total regular dude, They could confuse me for South American or Mexican or just dark old redneck. But if my daughter, she'll show up with her scarf around her head, and then all of a sudden they'll start looking at her from the corner of their eyes like it's a zombie apocalypse coming. You want to go get a target?
Investigators now believe that there's a connection to ISIS in the San Bernardino shooting.
When you first heard the news, what went through your mind?
We were glued to the TV, praying
Please
that
don't
it's
let it
not
be
a
ISIS.
Muslim name.
Exactly.
I mean, we were really, we could not go to bed or do anything else that night until the name came out. And this whole evening we spent just saying, oh God, please, it's not a Muslim name.
We knew that this was going to be really bad for Muslims in America.
The Saleh family has a lot in common with the Schwabs. They're Syrian immigrants living in Tampa. They're proud American citizens, and they're practicing Muslims. They do not, however, own a gun.
A lot of people, after these mass shootings, a lot of people are running and getting guns. Are you thinking about getting a gun?
Actually, I thought about it, to be honest with you. She is in vehement disagreement. She wouldn't let me buy a gun. But did it cross my mind? Absolutely. Because, I always think, if somebody attacked me or attacked my family, would I just sit and take a bullet, or should I do my best to protect myself and my family?
Bilal says he first thought about buying a gun after the attacks in Paris in November. But his wife, Abida, is worried that the very act of being a Muslim gun owner would play into a stereotype they're desperately trying to overcome.
It's really a matter of Why do we really have to go to that extent?
Obviously, my message to you is to get armed, get trained, and carry daily.
Does the Second Amendment apply to Muslims living in this country? Citizens who happen to be Muslim, do they have a right to bear arms?
Citizens that are Muslims are not actually citizens of the United States. They're citizens of the Prophet Muhammad and Sharia law.
What about Muslims who are scared, who want to protect themselves? How do Muslims protect themselves?
With a different gun store.
I'm shooting you. I'm still shooting you.
Nazar Hamza is a sheriff's deputy. He's also a practicing Muslim and regional operations director for CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations. Bilal reached out to CAIR to help organize the training at his local mosque. More than 100 men, women, and children attended, including the Saleh family.
So if you're dealing with the threat, deal with the threat.
Nazar is leading active shooter training courses at mosques throughout Florida. He's trying to help worshipers understand how to protect themselves from Islamophobic shooters.
It's an American right. It's a Second Amendment right for people to, have a firearm. It doesn't matter if they're Muslim, or they're Jewish, or they're Christian, or they're atheist, or they're Sikh. It doesn't matter. They have a right to legally own a firearm. They're thinking because I'm Muslim, I can't have a gun, or people are going to look at me weird, or I'm going to be on some kind of list. That's the problem.
We spent some time this weekend at a gun store not far from here. The owner of this gun store has created a Muslim-free zone. No Muslims allowed. What do you think of that?
I mean, I was born in this country. My parents are U.S. citizens, and so undeniably we are Americans.
If you take the Second Amendment away from a group of people, okay, then this group of people, where does it end?
The target that I have is a skeleton with a turban on it with an AK-47.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah. I think we've become numb to a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly.
You know what's funny about this is he looks like the Grim Reaper off the jacket of the Sons of Anarchy, which are real hardcore Americans.
I feel sorry for people who drag themselves down to this level.
I cannot stop Islam from spreading, but what I can do is arm the population against it. What we want you to do is we want you to put it straight back like that, okay? So.
Just as we were about to leave for the airport, some disturbing news. Something had happened at Dr. Schwab's office.
Yes, I heard you guys are a bunch of losers over there by the Schwab Laser Dental Institute. I just want to say that you guys being supporters of ISIS, you guys should go yourself.
What's your reaction to that?
My first reaction was, maybe we ought to just call her, invite her in, give her a free exam. Second reaction is to let it go. And the third reaction would be not where I want to be, but I mean, thank God I'm Carrie, and I am today, even though it's like I told you, I usually don't. But after she called me this morning, I said, I feel like I'm just going to put it on today.
What do you want Americans to know about you and your religion?
I would tell them to take the time to get to know the Muslims. Because I know if they do, they'll realize we're just your average American.
At the mosque, we have an email address. Almost daily, we receive emails from people who say, hey, we don't share your faith, but we don't believe what is being said about you, and please let us know how we can help. I mean, that's America we know, and that's America that will win. Despite everything that is happening now, I still believe the US is one of the best countries for Muslims.